What is up, Rad Potential YouTube? I'm Mr. Rad, and welcome to March Radness, where we're filming as many videos as possible. Every single thing we can do, we're going to cram it all into 1 month. Tons of different RX8 engine swaps, RX7 content, you name it, crazy stuff's going on. In today's video, we're taking the green car to the dyno. You're going to notice here in a second that this intro does not match. We're leaving right from after I've filmed this clip to go to the dyno. We did that yesterday. I just didn't film an intro in the whole madness of radness that's going on and getting all these stuff filmed and content and madness. My brain's going crazy right now. So with that, enjoy the video. Also, go check out Phalanx Performance. It's where we're headed to talk to Ernie. He is the RX8 rotary guru out in St. Louis. Super awesome dude. So go check out his Instagram, give him a follow. If you need engine work, if you need an engine rebuild, if you need some tuning stuff, go check out Ernie at Phalanx Performance. So with that, let's get right to the video. This is the craziest intro to the video that you're ever going to see. So I've been here. This is the day immediately after I got back from Nashville in the black FD when we put the REW in the blue truck. So like picking up 12 hours from where that video ended. I'm a little tired. We are taking the black FD and the green RX8 to Phalanx Performance today to put them on the dyno. Now, the black FD is going to stay at Phalanx Performance, and Ernie is going to tune it. The big part that I love about how Ernie tunes things is he likes to have the car around so he can tune your cold start, your warm start, all that stuff. If you just schedule your car to go to the dyno to get tuned, you only get one cold start at the dyno, and I doubt they're going to get it perfect on the first shot. So Ernie likes to dial all that stuff in, so he's going to have this car for a week. We're also picking up another car in this video, which you guys will figure out, or maybe I'll tell you, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But there's another car coming back because this car's staying there. Our goal is to figure out how much power the green stock RX8 can make. Okay, I've always said butt dyno, this thing makes 140. Until that one only made 120, and I know it would smoke this one. So maybe this one's only making 90 horsepower. I have no idea. Regardless, it's been a great car for all these years, and we're going to take it apart. That's what we do. March Radness, we're taking apart perfectly good running and driving cars. So this one's coming apart after the dyno day. Rebuild the engine. That one's coming apart next. But the black FD is pretty much ready to rock. So I changed the oil in this car this morning. Didn't film any of this because I was just like, I'm still kind of running behind, but I needed to film an intro. Oil change, wastegate spring change, changed. I had an oil leak on the turbo drain where I'd made like this extension. I already closed the hood. I was going to show you. I'll show you when we get to the dyno. I made this extension piece so the dash 10AN wouldn't be sucked up into the block, and it's way easier. It's way more serviceable, but it was leaking at that little, the gasket on the block. Pretty common spot to leak. So got that fixed, fresh oil, fresh filter. This thing's ready to go. It's got 590 miles on it. We're going to dyno it, and then it'll have, you know, a few weeks of when I give it back to Richard of, hey, you know, put 500 or 600 miles on this thing without going full Rage Monster, and then change the oil again and go full Rage Monster. So it'll have about 1,500 miles of break-in because this engine is a brand new engine. It has all, the only thing I guess is not new is the housings and irons, but everything else is new. New bearings, Chips Motorsports all sexified rotors, which I hate to even say that they're Chips Motorsports because that guy's kind of a whack job, but we got them done years ago. They've just been sitting on a shelf. So balanced lightens, all that stuff, rotors. It's ready to rip. Haltech Next R3. But I got to load up because I'm like, every time I go to Ernie's, seems like I'm always running behind. I want to apologize right now for the wind noise for the duration of this little clip, but check this out. I went back through here. I re-welded my entire trailer fender back together where it had broken and rubbed the tire. We got a new tire and a spare. So we're ready for a road trip. Let's get these cars loaded up. Let's listen to this. Just rapping right along. So we're back at Phalanx Performance again. It's like deja vu here with Ernie, but we're not going to bother him for the entirety of the day. So we're dropping off one car. We're going to make 3 hits with the green RX8. So you guys got to go down in the comments and guess how much horsepower it's going to make, because my guess is about 100. After the yellow car, I'm saying 124. That's my guess on the hub dyno. So it's a stock engine, 90 psi compression, like 3 to 4 months ago. It's got a hurt coolant seal, but it doesn't really, it runs fine with it, so it'll be okay.
Yeah.
revision C coils, an intake, the high flow cap mod, and then a cat back. No tuning, no nothing. Stock tune. So what do you think?
Let's go with 130.
130?
Yeah.
All right, we're being a little optimistic.
Feeling
here.
generous today.
So I'm just excited to get another baseline for this before we take it apart. And coming back through here, fortunately, we have a 2-car trailer, so I can bring an extra car for no apparent reason.
That's nice.
And we're gonna get some numbers. So let's see what it does. I'm excited. I promise this isn't gonna be the most exciting dyno pull you've ever seen ever. It's gonna be long and slow.
Oh, fan.
But we're here for it. We need a data point. Before it gets an REW, it starts making a bunch of jam.
Oh, we have to set this up, remember?
Yep. All right, so we're not even gonna warm it up. Perfectly cold. This is maximum compression test right here because it's cold. So it should make more power, right?
Should. Let's do it.
Just for science. Good?
Yeah.
I promise I got it floored.
Got some flames.
119!
Ah, you're closer.
I'm not at all surprised at that.
Me neither. 8,000 RPM, 119 whopping 89 point, we'll call that 90 foot-pounds of torque.
I mean, I've always wanted to strap a Milwaukee impact to the input shaft of the transmission and see if you can actually drive a car around. You think it would like work? It should make more torque than this, right?
Yeah, should.
All right, we'll give it one more rip.
Do as many as you want.
Hey, look at that.
118.
118.3. As the engine heats up, the compression's going down. We're losing horsepower.
Oh, you
Very
gained
repeatable though.
a foot-pound of torque.
91.4.
Foot and a half pound.
Man, these things are so peppy. You get one from the back.
Yeah.
It should spit a pretty good fireball, I think. All right, pull number 3. We picked up one, 119.3 horsepower that time.
You are consistent.
All right. I mean, that's pretty much all I need.
All right.
We don't have like a nitrous bottle. We don't have anything crazy. I don't have Versatuner on it. So my RX8 that we've been beating up on Porsches, Corvettes, and GTRs at the track makes 120 horsepower. I've been telling people 140, so dang.
I mean, I guess what is that at the crank? That's barely, that's not even 200.
I'd say that's probably 160 crank horsepower, like, you know. But the crazy part is what? The yellow car on 10 pounds of boost made 220 or 213, right?
Yeah.
The yellow car with full bolt-ons made 130, but that's with the tune. And I think the tune picks up the most horsepower out of most mods on the RX8. Like after you have an exhaust and an intake,
it did.
The tune,
yeah.
we gained like 10 or so horsepower with the tune. So we could probably get this car to pass what the yellow car made in A, I would say pretty easily with a little bit of effort. And then this car also has, I would say they're probably pretty tired by now, but revision C OEM like Series 2 RX8 coils. They're OEM Mazda ones, but they've been on there for 3 or 4 years, so they're probably pretty wore out.
How much did we make with the, I know you put the LS coils on there, and it made...
The LS coils picked up like
horsepower?
10 or 12 horsepower.
10,
yeah.
Okay. That's
So-
a worthwhile mod to do on these cars. So.
And I know you just did the IGN 1As on your car as well, right? So I bet that would be an even better...
Yeah, I don't have a comparison, but
yeah.
I just know they did good. I didn't have any ignition breakup or any type of ignition issues, so yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause there's definitely like more horsepower on the table with this car, but honestly, at this point, I really don't care.
Yeah.
So we just want to know what it was doing. And like I said, we had an extra spot on the trailer. So hopefully we exceeded y'all's expectations. And I just think there's a lot of Corvette, GTR, other track owners that are going to be really surprised at how fast this thing did Corvette music with that much power.
Yeah.
Because everyone always thinks these things make close to 200 wheel. And,
No.
you know, we've never seen, besides your one car that made 198, and any turbo RX8 on this dyno, which we were talking about earlier, comparing it to other dynos, is fairly accurate towards, like what you said, you compared it to a Dyno'ed,
A Dyno'ed
right?
jet, yeah, with updated software and everything.
Yeah.
It's
Plus or minus 3 to 5 horsepower.
It's within 5 for sure.
So I just think like people are hyping up RX8s and that they make a ton of horsepower, and like I wish they did. But.
You know, 15 years ago when everything was fresh and everybody had 125 psi compression on both rotors and everything was optimal. Yeah, of course, but nowadays everybody's car's worn out. You know?
And everybody's engine's been rebuilt twice.
You said you had 90 psi compression. Is that, that's both rotors?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Hot. 90 psi.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. That's why this is going to be like, this is a great candidate engine for the yellow car. Because now I'm looking for 120 psi rebuild, because being realistic, I'll probably turn the boost up and break it. So why, you know, to me, there's always a, you have to understand the scope of what you want to do with your car before you go and spend a bunch of money on it, right?
Oh, yeah.
So for me, it's like the yellow car isn't going to be some nice, beautiful turbo RX8. Like the goal with the yellow car is just to have fun and make it turbo and do all of that. So why spend $4 or $5 grand on new housings and rebuilding the engine and all that when like the goal isn't perfection, you know? The goal is just smiles per how many pairs of seats I can invest in my car, right? So manage the expectations of how much money you want to spend for your horsepower goal, but at the same time, like you can spend $5 grand on a motor and it can decide tomorrow it wants to blow up, you know? So
but also I think you've proven that on the track with this car that you don't need 500 horsepower or whatever to hang with the cars. You got to have some driving skill too.
Yeah.
You know, which you do. So, but yeah, you can do well with a little bit. These go a long way.
Heck yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna take this off the dyno.
Yep.
And load up another car, and that's pretty much all the things. I guess we'll do a little. I'll show y'all Ernie's Turbo RX8, and we'll talk about that a little bit here, but we're gonna film a dedicated video for that car in the next couple weeks. But we'll just get some good like Ernie and I technical RX8 data in this video. So we finished up dynoing the green car, and I've been saying this in some of my most recent videos. So Ernie, when you're buying an RX8, one of my recent enlightening thoughts I've had is to try to buy one with an OEM engine that's not rebuilt, even though it's not as healthy or maybe needs rebuilt, versus buying somebody's already rebuilt engine. Like my thought is if you get one that's already rebuilt and it has all the documentation, like that's a win, right? But if you buy some backyard rebuild and then it breaks,
that's the key.
And then you take it apart and now you're full of junk parts. Like would you think in your experience, or have in your experience seen like OEM engines coming apart that are in better condition than rebuilt engines previously?
All the OEM engines that I've ever purchased and installed, I know there's some people out there that have got them and took them apart, and there were just certain things were not right within them.
Sure.
But every one that I had, it's like fires right up.
Yeah.
No issues. Like none of this break-in drama or whatever. And the same is said with if you cut your side seals correctly on RX8s and you use brand new rotor housings.
Yeah.
That's one of the most important things, is to make sure you use new rotor. You can get away with used ones, sure, but you're gonna have teething issues with break-in and all that. And so, and like you've mentioned, compression is key. I mean, we've proved it. You know, you're low compression yellow RX8. So compression is key. Compression is key to power. The more compression you have, you know, obviously more power and torque. So yeah, the remans, yes, they use some. I'm gonna go pick one up Saturday actually. So
like a new reman, I guess?
Yeah, from Mazda.
Okay.
I had to wait 6 months for this thing, so I think it better be in pristine condition. But the remans, So they're getting to the point now where there's so few parts, what I've seen over the years, that basically the only things that they're reusing is the through bolts, maybe a front cover every now and again, but most of it's brand new stuff. So you're basically getting a brand new motor.
If you like buy a Reman RX8
if you spend the money on a Reman,
Okay. Are there still? I know REWs are like 15 grand now. So are like Renesis engines like chasing that as well?
No.
They're still like 5 or 7 probably?
They're still decent, yeah.
Okay.
With shipping and the place I deal with, they require a core.
Yeah.
So, and then usually I handle that for the customer, pull the core out, take it, ship it off, and handle all that. So they are, if you don't have a core, it's a little bit over 6K.
Yeah.
Which is not terrible, you know.
I mean,
especially what you spend on a rebuild.
That's what I was just going to say. Well, you got almost $1,800 in rotor seals and O-rings if you replace everything, right? New apex seals, springs, corners, everything on the whole deal is almost $2 grand.
Yeah.
A housing is $1,000 a piece. So you're at $4 grand in parts before you even pay you or I or somebody else to tear it down, clean it, stack it, and do all that. So it's very easy to get to that $6,000 number, you know?
Like I said, 6 months.
Yeah.
So you got to be thinking about this stuff ahead of time.
For sure.
Put the order in, because it could come in 6 weeks. It could be 6 months.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting.
But that might be because where I'm getting it from.
Sure.
I mean, people on the West Coast or East Coast might get it way quicker than that. We're in the middle of the country here, so get the leftover bits. But with the rebuilds, the prices are, like you said, with all the parts, they're so expensive. The prices are for individual parts are going up. The prices for the remans are pretty much staying the same.
Yeah.
Just RX8s. So.
Yeah, that's good. Because that was just to hear from you on, just the condition of taking stuff apart. Because like I've taken a lot of engines apart to kind of know, but it's like in my space or my place in the rotary world, it's kind of like people look to like, what does Mr. Rad recommend? I'm buying it. I filmed that video reviewing other people's RX8s that were for sale and why I wouldn't buy this one or buy this one or whatever. And I get that comment like, I'm going to go buy one, or what should I look for? Especially the Patreon guys, they're like, well, this one runs, but it's been rebuilt. Is it going to last? And, my thought was always kind of came to that conclusion at least recently. I'm like, man, why even mess with like somebody's already been messed with car? If you don't, like if it was built by you at X date, X many miles ago, and these were the parts replaced, that's a good engine to buy because you know what's in it. But if it was rebuilt, no receipts, no pictures, and it runs, I'd just be like, nah. I'd rather have a not running but an original Mazda engine to tear down because it might be in better shape. I don't know. It's just
because that rebuilt engine, if it even came out of that car, you don't know how many miles are on those irons, those rotors, E-shaft, you name it. Usually those parts tend to last a long time, but it's questionable.
For sure.
Same thing with the remans too, but because I don't know, because I would say half of them I don't take apart because the customer doesn't request porting or any type of different seals or whatever. So they could have used rotors in them and used E-shafts, but I would say the majority of remans have way newer parts in them than any rebuilds that I've seen. So
I would think Mazda would be pretty like detail or just looking over the condition of used parts before they would put it back into an engine and like give it a warranty.
I mean, because they're gonna have to spec them out.
Like they wouldn't put a housing in that looked good and had like a little bit of edge wear probably. You know what I mean? Like to me, if it had some edge wear, I think they'd probably not use it.
I would think so.
I would hope so. What I mean?
Well, the housings, that's different. They're just going to replace them.
Yeah.
They're just going to get new housings.
Yeah.
And if there's anything, I'm not sure, but they got to be, like you're saying, if there's any type of wear, just throw it in the bin, grab a new one off the shelf because it's way quicker to just grab a new one than it is to try to get somebody over, hey, can you get out the mic and check this out or whatever,
For sure.
But I could be wrong on that. I don't know. I mean, I'm not there doing it.
I've heard people take apart brand new REW engines and they're like missing a corner seal spring or a side seal spring from like parts that aren't installed right. They like get a new one and it's like low compression on one spot and it's missing a part. So like there's always going to be that in your whole manufacturing of parts. There is QA, QC,
yeah.
quality control, and things are going to slip
There's
through.
a percentage if you're producing so many. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's an interesting thing to talk about, but yeah. Cool. Well, look forward, guys, to we're going to take a ride in Ernie's red RX8 at some point and kind of do a whole build breakdown on that. And I think that'll be a really cool video for you guys because he's got a lot of time with Turbo RX8, a lot of
failures.
Yep. Learning experiences. And I think it'll be a really good video to document. So we're going to load up these cars, and I think this will probably just be the end of this video. So I'll see you guys in the next video. We're headed back to the ranch, and thanks for watching. So remember, live a life you don't need a vacation from. We'll see you in the next one. Keep it rad. All right. The second ending. Still rolling? Can I show them the RX4?
Let's do it.
All right. Gotta love old rotary muscle cars because they're just miniature muscle cars. But last time I saw one of these, we were out in New Mexico at Rotary Rehab, Brian Scotch Doppel shop. Check this thing out.
So you said the hood flew off during towing, so it had its little incident here. That's why it's
towing on the way here.
Not on the way here. He said whenever, because he just bought this. Daniel Oster.
Okay.
He's
local guy.
He is semi-local. He's in Ozark area.
Okay.
And,
oh, look at that. The Mazda Honda shop, and it's got scripted housings. That's sick. Cool.
Yeah, it's
no grill though. That's unfortunate.
Well, he does have the grill. It's just not installed.
Okay.
So he has all that. He has the bumper, the grill. Because I asked the same thing. It's like, you gotta have the grill.
I love the front of the RX4s. They just look super good. Oh, rotary engine, baked in the window. Super rad door handles. Oh, that one's locked. Old enough it doesn't have the auto like glass go down, but still has floating glass. Man, these cars are so cool. Brian knows so much more about these things than I do. It's like, I've never been around a lot of old schools, so besides the trucks. I wouldn't necessarily call myself an expert on the trucks, but...
Well, it's like they're not around to see them, you know?
I know.
I see them at Deals Gap. That's about it, you know?
Yeah.
This thing, you're not going to see another one around here unless it's tucked away in somebody's barn or something for the last 30 years.
And it's leaf springs, too. That's rad. My RX-5 is like a weird 4-link deal with coil springs and stuff. And it's a double wishbone front end. Are these McPherson like a RX-7? I feel like they are.
Question, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said, it just got dropped off earlier today.
Nice.
I got a question. Maybe somebody knows out there. What are these for? Are these decoration or is there functional use for those? He's got one on each side.
My thought would be because on an RX-7, the little vent, the black vent right there in front of the window is a sunroof drain. But these cars have never had a factory sunroof, I don't think. Then that would be the sunroof drain. But the other thing this could be too is just like a cabin vent, you know?
That's what I was thinking.
You know, like my Corvette was really bad about this. FDs are really bad about this. Like you have to slam the crap out of the door because the cabin's so small, it pressurizes. So maybe that's what that's for.
Yeah, it might be, yeah.
Because the Cosmo has a vent right here too. The RX-5 does.
Does it? Okay.
But I just know on those, the sole purpose of that vent right there is a sunroof drain. Okay. So like the little pinhole in the back of your sunroof on the first gen, there's 4. If you run a wire down it, it comes out that hole. That's all it's there for, so water can come out the back. But cool. All right. That's the second inning. Peace, guys.